can hear me. And then we'll be able to continue. One viewer resubscribed while you were away. It's frustrating that it doesn't say which subscriber it is that resubscribed whilst I was away. But if it was you that resubscribed, then thank you very much. I'm not sure how far through the month we are. It would be one of the middle bunch of people that subscribed midway through the month. Cheers, AJ. Cheers, AJ. Thanks for letting me know. We'll see if Twitch is auto-tweeted for me, shall we? It has, good. I have put the little YouTube video up, but it's taken its time to send to sub boxes. The My Player video tonight took like half an hour to send to sub boxes. Hopefully it won't take quite as long today for that second video to go live. But we'll give it a few minutes just to make sure that everybody's on their way in. You came last, even behind the Manners. What car were you in, AJ? And on what difficulty, etc.? You're right, Ross, you did just tweet me. But I decided not to reply, considering literally 5 seconds after you tweeted me, I went live. You're buying this at the weekend, are you, Alan? Go for it, man. On what platform? Are you getting it on console, or are you going to get it on PC? We'll give it a few minutes still before we get going. Just another 2 or 3, just make sure everybody works their way in. I'm going to be playing all sorts during the summer, Stuart. Still continue with playing Formula 1 and The Witcher, but I'm going to play all sorts. You know, G2A, COD, Rocket League, anything really. I'll literally play anything. But for the time being, for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to continue with the schedule as it has been. But these F1 streams have been doing really well, so I'm quite happy to continue doing these. Because I'm thoroughly enjoying streaming F1 at the minute. If you need... You're going to get it on PS4. Go for it, man. You'll have to let me know on Twitter how you get on. The yellow and green circles on the minimap, AJ, they're speed traps. They mark how fast you're going at that particular point on the map. We've had a donation Yeah, that was legitness. Yeah, it was. Ha. Let me quickly check the thing. We've had a £1 donation from Saul with a smiley face. Thank you very much, Saul. Appreciate that, bro. Hopefully we can give you even more smiley faces with some good driving later on in the race. Obviously we're at Bahrain today. The fourth episode of the series with MGH and Channel will be out tomorrow. Noisy Fanatic at 6 PM. Sorry, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the minute at 6 PM is that particular series. But there you go. Daniel knows what's up. After 3 races over the past 3 days, or over the past few days, we did the first race last Friday, didn't we? And then we did Malaysia and then China in the past couple of days. We finished 9th in Australia. No, rephrase. We finished 7th in Australia, 5th in Malaysia, and 9th yesterday in China. So we have picked up points in every Grand Prix we've raced so far. We're 7th in the overall drivers' standings. 2 points ahead of Jenson Button in his McLaren and 4 points behind Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. So we're effectively best of the rest. If you discount the Mercedes, the Red Bulls and the Ferraris, which are kind of the front 3. Although to be fair, Williams should definitely be classed as one of the top 4 teams perhaps. So we're doing even better because, as you can see, Felipe Massa is below us on 10 points. Even though Valtteri Bottas is above us in 3rd place on 37, level with Nico Rosberg. This is PC Arsenal. I'm using a pad. I've put in the title that it's on PC now, but obviously if you're watching on mobile, you can't actually see the title of the stream. So. Let's jump in. Let me just sort everything else out next to me and then we'll jump into to practice. Assists and everything is as it should be. Practice, short qualifying and a 50% race distance. I would love full practice, full qualifying and 50% race distance, but unfortunately you can't customise your World Championship season like that, unfortunately. They just have 3 basic presets. So we have to just live with it as it is right now. Let me just, there we go. Let's go. We're off to Bahrain, boys. We're off to Bahrain.
The magnificent Bahrain International Circuit sits majestically in the desert, situated just 30 kilometers from the capital, Manama. Welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix, where practice is about to get underway. This weekend's night race will definitely be a challenge for some of the drivers, as not all of them have driven under lights before, so they'll need to quickly adapt to the conditions.
They will have already acclimatised and configured their normal race weekend routine to a night schedule, but I can't wait to see which driver gets up to speed the quickest in these conditions.
It's still taking some getting used to, seeing Sebastian Vettel in the red of Ferrari this season.
After so many years racing in the Red Bull colours, it's going to take a while to adjust to Seb in that Ferrari. They'll be hoping he can add to his 4 world titles with them and bring back some glory days to Maranello.
I have to agree, AJ. This and Singapore, the 2 races under the lights, are definitely the best looking tracks on the game. I'm just going to quickly make this full screen for me so I can avoid any screen tear, etc. We can maximise how good the game looks, both for me and for you. You don't need to apologise for being in Hawaii, Calcedmu. Are you going on holiday to Hawaii? Actually, let me quickly just move this up here. I'm going to have to switch back to full screen mode again, but I need to just rearrange the layout of my streaming software on the screen next to me. There we go. Yeah, wholeheartedly agree. The 2 tracks under the lights are definitely the best looking on the game. Singapore, Haven't raced on in the rain at night yet, because they showed one of Singapore in the rain, didn't they, in the trailer, and that leaked French footage, and it looked unbelievable. Obviously it's not going to rain here in Bahrain because we're in the middle of a desert, but I am getting into the swing of things, Williams. Yeah, I will do some online with viewers, Master Josh, but they need to fix the online first before I do that. But I'm actually just going to go out straight away. I should have checked my tyres really, but they give you an extra set of soft compounds, so we'll be fine. Well, we're on the medium compound. Is it medium and hards here? I don't know whether it's medium and hards or whether it's mediums and softs. I can't remember. I think it's mediums and hards, but I could be mistaken. But yeah, how good does this track look under the floodlights at night? Honestly, it's just gorgeous. Definitely one of the best looking tracks on the game. This game in general is one of the best looking racing games we've ever had. It looks cracking. I have to judge my braking points again and relearn the circuit. Not driven this one for a couple of weeks since we first streamed this last Friday. So a week rather than a couple of weeks. Obviously I've got cold tyres, etc. But I should be able to get into the swing of things pretty sharpish. We've got a Ferrari ahead of us, so we're not going to have to worry about catching him. I'm not sure who the car behind us is, but we've got a gap in front and behind. We'll use DRS, but under the floodlights, this track looks just phenomenal. You can see the start-finish straight over the back of those lights just there. Obviously we've gone past it now. As you come down that long straight, you can see the lights in the background around other parts of this circuit. God, it looks so good. I can't at present, Ben. If you could ask if there's another subscriber in the chat, if they could put the link in the chat for you. I'm not sure if any of my mods or other subscribers are in the stream. I haven't seen another subscriber yet in the chat. Let me do a flying lap for you, Ben, and if nobody's put it in the chat by then I'll pause the game and do it for you, bro. Oh, I keep getting... that braking zone keeps catching me out. Not sure who that is that's come out in front of us there, in between us and the Ferrari, but it looks like a Mercedes, so... oh, wow. It did not want to switch directions there. Oh, Saul's here. Saul, could you do the donation link for Ben? He'd like to have the donation link. If you just put !donate and it will do the link. Nightbot should... is Nightbot doing it? Or is Nightbot being a dick? Nightbot appears to be being a dick, doesn't it? And not actually listening to you. Okay, well, let me finish this lap and then I'll pause it and do it for you. Appreciate that, Ben. I appreciate you Willie wanting to donate. Oh, wow, I've had a really scrappy lap, in fairness. A very scrappy lap. Let's put us P5. Right, I'm just going to pause it and then I will actually continue to do another flying lap. But Nightbot's being a bit of a naughty so-and-so, and it doesn't want to play ball. I'll take Nightbot out and put it back in again, but see if that fixes it, because then obviously if I'm in the middle of racing, in the actual race, it's alright in practice, but if we're in the middle of the actual race, then it could be a bit of an issue if people want like the uptime or anything else. But I think it is set. Oh, it wants me to wait 30 seconds. Let me just check the custom commands. It is set that subscribers can do it, yeah. And it's just Nightbot misbehaving. Surprise, surprise. I know this is practice at the minute, Harry. And there's no FM at the minute, Morgan, because I'm thoroughly enjoying playing this F1 game at the minute. Plus, it seems to be going down really well as well. Viewer numbers have been pretty high, so whilst I'm continuing to get good views and I'm continuing to really enjoy the game, Nightbot comes in and immediately times someone out for spamming. GG, Nightbot. There you go, Nightbot's playing ball now. And someone else wanted the uptime as well. There you go, we've been up 15 minutes, not long. But yeah, the F1 streams have been going down really well, so I'm going to continue with doing those for now. Because I love playing this game. So as long as it's popular on my Twitch channel, I'm going to continue to race it. Continue to play it. There we go. Right. Let's try and actually put in a better lap this time, shall we? Because that previous one, a 140, is not good enough. I was pretty slow then. I missed a couple of braking zones and we ran wide a couple of times. That's better. See, with warm tyres and warm brakes, I broke at pretty much the same point there as I did last lap, but with warm brakes and warm tyres, and it wanted to change direction there as well, which is good. We've got a Marussia in front of us, so.
Okay, let's talk about this track. Brake nice and early for 14. It's a long one from there down the pit straight, so you need a good exit. But you can also carry a fair amount of entry speed, so get off the brakes early and turn in a bit sooner than seems natural. The car should understeer past the apex. The exit is wide enough so that you can run out to the curbs and get away with it.
We are closing up like mad on this manor. Hopefully he's not going to get in the way. It should be a purple second sector for us. It wasn't, apparently. Although, no, to be fair, if it goes purple, it's the fastest of the session, isn't it, rather than my personal fastest. Lewis Hamilton just put in a 1:35.999, and I have to take the manor under braking, and then we'll gun it for the line. We were 1:40.9 last time. This is going to be much quicker. But is it going to be quick enough? 1:37.7 puts us back up in P7. That was a much better lap time. We'll throw it in here. We'll try one more in practice. Let's put it on Rich as well. Yeah, this is Bahrain, Tom. Brake slightly earlier there because we're now on rich rev, so we're going a little bit quicker when we arrived at that apex than we were last lap. A little bit slower through here and then flick it the other way and let the car understeer out to the far side. Swing it into the hairpin. We've got a McLaren and Jensen Button right in front of us. We'll try and take him down the straight with DRS. He's locked up going in there and that's completely put me off. Completely missed my braking point there. I will do. We're on rich at the minute, so I'm going to stay out for now. Although this lap probably isn't going to be any good. But it might be nice actually to see how long the tyres last. That's one thing we haven't done yet in any of the practice sessions we've done, is test how long the tyres last so we know what to expect in the race. So I might come in now. Take Jensen into the last corner as well. We did the Marussia and now we'll do the McLaren. How much fuel have we got left? We got fine. We're fine. I'm going to keep going and see how long it takes for my tyres to wear. Well, that was a quicker lap time by 0.7 seconds. Wow, I didn't even realise. I do like Bahrain, to be honest. It is one of my favourite tracks, so. Oh, I don't even bother setting up the car, to be honest, Glandring. I'm pretty clueless when it comes to how to set up a car for a certain track. But I'd love to do 100% length races, but I just don't have the time these days. A few years ago, I just used to sit and do like 200 or 300% races in a single day. I used to absolutely love it off. Don't lock up. There we go, that's better. You don't really need to watch F1 to understand it. That's the job of me as a commentator, isn't it, really? Of helping people understand what's going on the track. And like if people have questions in the chat to respond, etc. Tyres seem fine so far. We are running slightly short on fuel though. We'll do one more on lean.
Times are a little off the pace, particularly in sector 1.
Thank you for staying to the inside, Felipe. Do one lap on lean and then we'll come in, but the tyres seem to be lasting perfectly fine. Again, like I say, I'm not sure what tyre compounds we're running here. These might be the primes, but pretty sure we run on the options in practice. As you know, you do run on the primes, it automatically gives you the primes in practice, doesn't it? So we should be expecting these tyres to last. In which case, I'll go out after this, we'll do a stint on the softs, see how long they last, and then we can obviously have a better idea of how to judge our race strategy when it comes to race day. It's exclamation mark donate, not donations, Beardy. Mass is just too quick to be down straight, and I'm going to have to. Probably could have tried to take him there, but I'm going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, so I don't really want to interfere with him too much. Or, note to self, don't brake on those curbs, because that just completely threw me. Nightbot's just being a dick again, isn't it? It appears to only want to listen to me or moderators, which is frustrating. Into the pits. It is set up for subs. No, it is set up for subs, but it just apparently doesn't want to listen. Go to custom commands. User level is all listed as subscriber, but it just doesn't want to play ball, unfortunately. Hang on. There you go. If you reload your Twitch, Saul, I've just modded you so that you can help out in the chat with when people ask for commands, etc. It's working because I've just modded you, Saul. So clearly, even though I've got it set to subscribers, it's not keen on doing it. That was a pretty good lap time. I am pleased with that. We are still a way off Lewis and the Ferraris, the Mercedes and the Ferraris. Where's Checo? Where's our teammate? He's down in 14th. Well, the track is pretty busy. Let me switch back to full screen now that I'm coming back to the game rather than messing about with programs to the right of me. The game has just shut down. Okay. The game's just crashed on me. Well, let's load it back up again. Apologies. It's on PC. Well, it was on PC until it crashed on me. We'll load it back up, shall we? That was annoying. I have to run it on high when I'm recording and streaming, but the game runs perfectly on ultra for me. Like, just off camera. It runs perfectly on ultra for me with a 980.
Welcome to Formula One.
Right, try again, shall we?
Welcome to the deserts of Bahrain.
Let me just switch to full screen again. There we go. Right, now this time we'll go out on the softer compound and see how long the tyres last. Because we've got an extra, it reckons the lifespan is 18 laps, but I'm not so sure.
We'll make the changes you requested.
We'll go to track.
The track is green right now, so take a few laps to get the tyres up to 10%.
We'll skip most of practice. I just want to do one stint on these softs to see how long they last. Oh, Marussia coming out rather close in front of us. Just have to get past him as quickly as possible. Whoa, bloody hell. He was very slow through there. Excuse me, Roberto, I'm much quicker than you because you're in a car from last year and on the slower tyres. Right, now the question is, how long do you think these tyres will last? I'm going to hazard a guess. At 7 laps. What do you think in the chat? Because in Australia the soft tyres lasted a little bit longer. But in Malaysia and China we really struggled with tyre wear. I do have a large list of mods, but a lot of them are just personal friends that are never in the stream, to be honest. There's only really 3 or 4 regulars. Like Puddin, Ruben, yourself, Spicy, Kiz, and that's kind of it for regular mods. You reckon 7 to 8 laps, do you? 7 or 8. Well, we'll see how it goes. We're on our first flying lap now, although that wasn't the best of starts to it. Lewis should just disappear into the distance in front of us, regardless of the fact he's on a slower tyre. His engine, or his car, his whole package is slightly better than the one we have in the Force India. We do have a similar engine, although I'm sure the Mercedes engine in his Mercedes is better than the Mercedes engine in my Force India. I am absolutely adoring F1 so far, Spicy, yeah. And the streams keep doing well as well. Like, whoa. Tuesday night we had like over 300, almost 400 viewers for the majority of the race. And last night we had over 300 viewers for the majority of the race as well, if not the entirety of the race. My viewer record, Joachim, is... Whoa, we've gone really wide there. My viewer record is about 800.
That lap time puts you into P4, 4th place.
We did a 137, didn't we, on the mediums before the game crashed. Whoa, I hit that curve too hard. Now, I wouldn't advise that you buy this game just yet. I'd wait a month till all of the bugs have been patched, to be completely honest. It is, the single player core gameplay is extremely good, but there are a lot of bugs and AI mannerisms, AI behaviours that need fixing, like we saw last night with Massa getting a puncture going at like 30% speed, and then Kimi in the Ferrari and Romain Grosjean in the Lotus on the pit straight at full speed, just driving straight into the back of him rather than avoiding him because he was obviously going very slowly with a puncture. And online is just completely broken apparently. I've not tried it myself, but I've seen all the videos on YouTube, and online on this game just doesn't work properly at all at the minute. So I'd say wait a month before buying it personally, or wait a couple of weeks at least, because once they've managed to fix the problems with it, it is genuinely one of the best Formula 1 racing games ever. Core gameplay wise, and AI racing in single player is phenomenal. Like, the AI are better than they've ever been, in my opinion. Other than the odd glitch like the one we mentioned with Massa and his puncture, but other than that, they are pretty spotless.
5 kilos of fuel in the tank, just 5 kilos of fuel remain.
I'd say if you want to get it, like if you're desperate for it, then of course buy it, but I'd say wait a month or so. You might get it a little bit cheaper, plus they'll have fixed all the things that need to be fixed with it in, say, 5 or 6 weeks. I'm twitchy with the wheel because I'm on a controller. If I had a wheel, like a racing wheel, or if I was able to use a racing wheel, then I'd be a lot smoother. But obviously with a controller you have to make small corrections all the time, whereas with a wheel you can be a lot smoother. My lap time is about the same at present.
You need to come in before you run out of fuel or pit within 2 laps.
No, we're fine for now. We want to see how long the tyres last. We're going into lap 4 and there's still no wear on the tyres.
Your tyres are okay through sectors 1 and 3, but you're losing a lot of time in sector 2.
Excuse me, Fernando. Oh, Ruben's arrived. Excuse me, Fernando. I did say excuse me. Excuse me, Fernando. Do you mind? Hey, you can raise your hand to me as much as you like. I'm on a hot lap and you're just in the way. Fuck you.
Just so it's in your mind, if you have us make a setup change and you don't like the feel, don't hesitate to come back and undo
Dickhead,
it.
Fernando.
You can save any setups that you like from the tablet, or you can always use one of the presets the team has built from our simulation data.
Still no wear on the tyres, which is really strange. Would have thought by now that it would have had some.
You're off the pace in sectors 1 and 2.
Still nothing. The rear left looks a little bit shadowy, but nothing really. I am surprised. I expected them to go off, like be starting to go quite yellow by now. Clearly they're not. Oh, the car does not like that switch of direction in the middle there.
Don't be afraid to come in and tweak the setup if you need to, and we can chuck on a fresh set of tyres if they're getting worn.
Well, the tyres aren't getting worn, but in that switchback section the car does not like switching from right to left. At all. I'm going to have to adjust how I drive through that section. That's where I'm losing all of my lap time as well.
Remember about this circuit. Turns 9 and 10 are very tricky. Ignore 9 almost entirely, stay in the middle and take it straight so that you're set up for 10. If it gives you problems, remember that all about exit speed out of 10. Don't try and carry too much momentum into the apex, as you'll just understeer off into the sand.
Excuse me, Roberto. There we go, now we're starting to get some tyre wear after 5 laps. So they'll probably last about 8. So we'll make this the last lap and then we'll go to qualifying. So we reckon the softs will last about 8 and the mediums will probably do 11 maybe? 10 or 11?
Okay, we're running on fumes now. This is the last kilo or so of fuel.
I'm going to have to be careful. If I lift there, yeah, lifting makes it nip into the left hand side, so if I make sure I get my line right through there in qualifying and I lift in the middle of the corner as I'm switching left, then that should fire it in to the left hand side. We are running out of fuel, as you can tell from the sound of the engine. She's struggling. We're nearly at the pit lane, Bob. You're nearly at the pit lane. It's okay. It's okay. You can have a drink now. There we go. Still though, at 1:37 flat. Decent lap time again. P5 in the session in a Force India. I'm definitely quicker here than I was at China. That's for sure. Oh, maybe the website's down, Ben. Don't worry about it, bro. Maybe subscribing to the channel would work instead, if you were desperate to contribute in some way. We're still P5. Where's Sergio Perez? Teammate's very, very slow. We'll accelerate the session. What? There are 2 cars inside each other. They're ghosting, but there are 2 cars inside each other. The Williams and the Mercedes are literally and now they're not. Well, that was odd. That's another glitch that will have to get sorted. I don't know whether they came out of the pit lane at the same time, or... That was really odd.
The track is busy, be aware.
We'll accelerate time to the end of the session. They want us to finish 12th in the session, but we'll be comfortable to finish there. No, we'll be able to two-stop in this one, Ruben, quite comfortably. I'm a lot easier on my tyres around Bahrain. Oh yeah, the difficulty settings on expert. I'm not quite good enough, really, to be competitive on Legendary. Still 5th. Still 5th. Checo's up to 12th. We're a full second behind Lewis, though. We're faster than both the Williams and both the Red Bulls. Checo's up to 10th. Nice lap, son. If we could get both cars in the points, that would be fantastic. Obviously, our teammate hasn't scored a single point so far this season, so it would be good for the...
He's managed to get P1 in today's practice session.
Ah, Kimi put on a set of options and has pipped the Mercedes to first place in that session. So the AI are definitely faster on options than they are the primes. Oh me.
It's 6 o'clock here local time and the sun is starting to set. Welcome to qualifying in Bahrain. Before the cars take to the track to start qualifying, who are you expecting to have a good session today?
Well, I certainly think Sebastian will be strong here. He really loves this circuit, and as long as he has the car performance, you can expect him to be right up there challenging for pole.
Right, I'm probably going to use a set of softs. Nightbot's just been really weird. Yeah, we'll use a set of softs. See, that's another glitch. Look, delta time it's completely glitching out. It's little things like that that are really annoying at the minute. We'll go out. We'll go out in a set of softs. See, I've got it set to only subscribers being able to use commands, Ruben. But it's only letting moderators do the commands at the minute. But in my custom command set, I've got it set as subscribers can as well. But it's not. It's just not allowing it, unfortunately, at the minute. We are first out on track, though. I hear the crowd cheering in the background. So we did a 137 flat in practice.
Nice and smooth on your way out, please. We want to save the grip for the flying lap. Make a space and watch for traffic behind you.
Hey, you're running wide. We've got plenty of space. Just want some warm tyres, that'd be nice. Yeah, this is quali, Bottas 77.
We shouldn't see any rain, but if a storm front does appear, then I'll let you know.
Storm front isn't going to appear in the middle of the desert, I can pretty much guarantee you that. If it does start to rain around this track, then the game has got something wrong with it. There's barely a cloud in the sky as well. Let's get a good exit onto the last corner, or out of the last corner, and we'll go for a first flying lap. The more people beg to ask to be made a moderator is the least likely, makes them less I can't even talk. If you beg to be mod in the chat, then you're less likely to be given mod at any particular stage. It's effectively what I'm trying to say, but my brain isn't working properly right now. I think I've got Mercedes behind me. No, it's definitely not Mercedes. It may even be a Red Bull actually, or a Toro Rosso. Throw it in here. Grip, grip, grip. Thank you. My tyres could do with another lap really before they're at their peak temperature. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Don't brake on those. Don't brake on those curbs. Well, that was faster than any lap we put in practice. And Ricciardo's just gone and beaten it, so we're going to have to go quicker. Have to go quicker than it this lap. Is it behind me? It's definitely a Red Bull or a... Oh, it'll be Ricciardo, won't it? If he immediately beat my time, it'll be Ricciardo sat behind me. Faster than the Sauber of NASA. I don't know whether that's 3/10 off the overall pace or 3/10 off my pace. Must be 3/10 off my pace. No, we're quicker by 0.3. Still only P5 though, Ricciardo's still ahead of us. So we'll go for one more. Go for one more. This feels like a faster lap, I'll be honest. It does feel faster. Quite get the exit right there, but never mind. It's maybe a 35. It's fact. It is 35.6. We're above Ricardo now.
That lap puts you at P5.
That was a good lap. I'm pleased with that one. My exit out of the last corner could have been better as well, so there's probably another tenth or two in there. Now, I'm on automatic, Tom 2000. I'm just using the pad, so I'm driving on auto. Arturo Vidal is rumoured to be going to Bayern Munich, yeah. 40 million euros apparently, which is an absolute steal. Like 26 million pound is it, or 32 million, something like that. I don't know what the exchange rate is like at the minute. It's pretty poor, I think, for pound and euro. No, the game is changing gears for me. I'm not changing gears. I'm on automatic. We'll see where P5 can get us, shall we? Not sure how long's left in the session actually. Just over half, I think, about 10 minutes or so. Sergio Perez, yeah, 8 minutes. Sergio Perez has come in right behind me. Hey, buddy. Now, I don't really have a favourite driver, to be honest. SWP. Or SPW, sorry. I'm used to saying SWP for Sean White Phillips. Let me quickly, I just had to switch back to my... it is 28 million, is it? Just had to switch back to my other screen, so let me quickly switch back to full screen on the game. Right, have a look at session info. There's not many cars out on the track at the minute. I'm just going to go to the toilet quickly. I'll leave you with Roman Grosjean on your screen so that you can watch him go round so that you don't get bored. But I'll be back in literally just a couple of seconds. I say literally just a couple of seconds. I mean literally just a couple of minutes. Just going to go toilet quickly. BRB. Grosjean's having a bit of a battle with a Red Bull there, isn't he? By the looks of things. How long's left in the session? Just 5 minutes. Okay, I'll quickly put me back on full screen. There we go. Excuse me, Mr. Man. How much life did that take out the tyres? 17%. Okay. Okay, cheers, mate. We are currently 6th. Daniel Kvyat has put in a very quick lap. Look at Danny Kvyat jumping up into 5th. He's been around about where Checo is, like just outside the top 10 for the majority of the season so far, and he bangs in a P5 lap that's the same as the Ferraris. That's very quick.
What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
Well, it's going to be an interesting race towards the first corner tomorrow, because whoever leads into turn 2 will be in a very strong position to go on and win.
I'm quite happy with P6, to be honest. We are quite a bit faster than Danny Ricciardo as well, and the people behind us, so we could be on for some decent points in this race.
It's nearly 6 o'clock in the evening here in Sakhir, and that means it's nearly time for the Bahrain Grand Prix. On pole today is Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes was dominant during qualifying, and with the power unit advantage, well, you just can't see anybody challenging for that race win today.
He's definitely going to be difficult to beat today, but anything can happen, so we'll have to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the course of the race.
How does Nico Rosberg go about finding the time he was lacking at the end of qualifying in today's race?
Well, he's got to stay within touching distance of the lead during the first stint, and then look to capitalise as the car becomes lighter and the tyre degradation eases.
Yeah, you don't really need to know much about the sport, Quinstar, to be honest. If you enjoy racing games, then you will enjoy a Formula 1 game. It's very, very accessible for people that don't really know much about the sport, and if you do know a lot about the sport, then obviously it caters to that as well. Right, race strategy. We got a 3-stop, or it won't let me change. Okay. It won't let me change to start on prime tyres. I don't know why that is, to be completely honest. What is that Ghiazzo, Matt? Hang on. Have you gone and beaten one of my times? Hold up. Oh, he's gone and beaten me around China. Son of a bitch. I'm going to have to go and beat that after this race at Bahrain. Son of a bitch. Yep, I'm going to have to go and beat that. Right, I don't understand why it won't let me change. Well, we're going to have to start on options, but I'm probably still only going to do a 2-stop. I'm going to go option prime, I think, probably. That's really frustrating that it won't let me switch to a prime setup. We may have to do a 3-stop. I'll have to switch back to full screen because I just had to switch to my internet browser so I could see Matt's time, and he has beaten me by, what was it, 0.4 of a second at China. That is a good point. I didn't think about that. Obviously, because it's only a short qualifying session. It's not the best of starts for me, but we'll try and keep up with the top 5 in front of us. We may be able to make up a position or two. It's going to be a really tight line around here. We're going to have to nail it. There goes Daniel Kvyat. If we can shut out the people behind us, and we'll try and get ourselves up behind those two Ferraris sooner rather than later. We're in a Red Bull sandwich right now. There is a yellow flag, so there must have been contact behind us. Like a late lunge for Danny Kvyat, and we are up into P5. Kvyat lost 2 places there. His teammate got him as well. I'm too busy looking behind me than looking at my line into 6 and 7. We'll throw it down here. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to stay up with the Ferraris for this race, to be completely honest, because they are very, very quick, but P5 is very much on the cards.
No chance of rain now. If the situation changes, we'll let you know.
Keep my eye on the Red Bull behind me, because there were some warmer tyres as well, to be completely honest. I think it's going to be a case of the Ferraris are just going to disappear in front of us, I think. The Ferraris and the Mercedes. We might be able to stay within touch of them for a little bit if I can get some heat in these tyres. Why are my option tyres really worn? What the fuck? It's given me a set of worn option tyres to start the race. Wow. Okay, we are definitely going to have to go option prime then. It's weird, it's really messed around with my tyres for this. It wouldn't let me start on the primes, which understandably might be because we were top 10, but I didn't think that came into effect in the short qualifying, because I'm pretty sure we qualified top 10 in the other races that we've done, in Malaysia and in China yesterday, and we were able to change strategy. But it's given me a really worn pair of options. So this is going to mess with our strategy. We are probably going to have to go, well, I'm definitely going to have to go to primes after this. We're really going to have to eke out the tyre wear. And Ricciardo's going to have DRS on me on the next lap. Oh, that's so frustrating. Why can't they just... Never mind. Obviously, if it's full qualifying, then if you qualify top 10, you start on the tyres you put in. You start on the tyres that you put your fastest lap in Q2. But obviously, with it being short qualifying, I didn't think those rules were in effect. So we're going to have to stop early.
Is now enabled and will be available to use when you're within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS.
We were 11th in China, were we? Because we qualified 5th in Malaysia, didn't we? We did qualify 5th in Malaysia. Danny Ricciardo, I'm pretty certain he's going to get me down one of the straights with DRS. He's right on me, and I've got no grip in these rear tyres now. Yeah, no grip. Never mind. We'll make... Oh, it's right on my arse. I'm going to have to go defensive, but he'll probably just storm past me. If we can try and keep him and the Williams behind for as long as possible, then it's going to give our chances towards the end of the race a bit of a boost. The Ferraris have just disappeared into the distance, the Ferraris and the Mercedes. Oh, that little nick off the curb pushed me wide. Pretty sure Danny Rick's going to get me here. I will go defensive when he closes up behind me. Go defensive. He's gone for the switchback, but it's not worked. We've got a little bit of a train behind us now with 2 Red Bulls. Oh no, it's a... Well, Danny Kvyat qualified really high in 5th and it's just dropped like a stone since we overtook him. And now Massa's having a crack at Ricciardo. Oh, contact! Did you see that? I definitely heard it, and then Massa's back end stepped. There was contact between Massa and Ricciardo there. Might have to have a look on that at the replay at the end of the race. Lap 4. Remind me at the end of the race, we'll have a look at a replay of that. Danny, do you mind? Wow. Danny Ricciardo just spun me out. Daniel Ricciardo literally just spun me out. Son of a bitch. Can you believe it? Let's have a look. I'm going to pause it. Let's have a look at Danny Rick. Change the camera angle. I ran wide and he's just driven into the back of me. He's legitimately just driven into the back of me. Cheers, Danny. Appreciate that, bro. Now we're down in 13th. You know what? Let's make... I'm going to pit this lap. Going to make the best of a bad situation now. I'm going to pit and then... Whoa! The rear just locks up under braking. We've actually got a teammate right behind us now. Oh, I'm never going to get the amount of life out of the tyres that we need to two-stop this. Right, pop some primes on, please, boys. Thank you. Where's Roberto Meri? There he is. Come on, son, put me down into last, thank you. Daniel Ricciardo is an absolute dickhead. I love him in real life, but I can't believe he's just done that to me on the game. That's so annoying. Racing incident though, I suppose. I don't know whether he'll get a penalty for it. I'm going to have to try and look after these now. I'm going to have to try and do 12 laps on each set of primes. We've got 24, 25 laps remaining. So I'm going to have to go till like lap 17, 18 on this set of primes. I'm seething, absolutely seething about Daniel Ricciardo. We've scored points at every race weekend so far this season. The opening 3 weekends. And we are quick round here as well. It's one of my favourite circuits. And the tyre situation, I think that was my mistake, the tyres. And then Danny Rick spins me when I'm trying to preserve them. 3.8 seconds behind Roberto Meri, who's 7.9 seconds behind his teammate. Will Stevens, who will be another 8 or 9 seconds behind the nearest car in front of him. Going to have to nail it for the rest of the race and drive as fast as possible for as long as possible. Oh, I will, don't you worry. It is going to be the drive of our life. If we're going to get any points out of this one. Might be past him before we even get to the DRS zone.
Excellent pace. Went much faster than a minute driver. Keep pushing.
See you, Bert. Where's your teammate? Where's Will? Down the road somewhat. Whoop. A little bit of understeer there as we came through the corner. 7.1 seconds to Will Stevens. Okay. Everybody's on the back straight now. Obviously we're a pit stop behind everybody else, so if I can just... Oh, too much speed in there. Getting a bit carried away, trying to make up for lost time. If I can just keep driving as fast as I can, we might be able to make up time when they all pit. I wonder how much time we're making up. How much time we're making up on Will Stevens per lap? Was it 7 point something? Oh, Checo's pit. Our teammate has pit, and he's come out behind us. He was right behind us when we went into the pit, so we have definitely made up some time. So we've overtaken our teammate, so at least we're back in front of him. Stop! Oh, my rear tyres are starting to go yellow already, I think, unless that was just something in the back behind them going yellow. No, my rear tyres are definitely starting to go yellow already. Wow, tyre wear is so much different in the race than it was in practice and qualifying. I wanted to take these tyres till like lap 17. It's definitely not going to be possible. We may have to 3-stop it. I'm going to try my absolute best not to 3-stop. We might just be a sitting duck towards the end of the race. Getting really paranoid about those tyres now. We've just flown up behind the Marussia though. The fronts are okay, although they're starting to go now. Take him into the hairpin. Don't you touch me, buddy. Don't you touch me. We've been spun out once today. Do not want it happening again. Thank you very much. I think it's unfair to say I crashed. I think the more accurate thing to say is someone crashed into me.
It looks like one of the Red Bulls are about to pit. Their crew are getting ready. Bottas has just moved into first place.
Bottas takes the lead. The Mercedes must have pit then.
We're 2 laps away from the next round of stops. We're going to fit the option tyre. You've taken P15.
We have.
Bottas is leading the race.
Now they're locking up there on cold tyres. We should have DRS here, and we do. He's got a good exit. Losing a lot of rear end grip now. We've only been on these tyres like 4 laps. Why have the rear tyres just gone? We were fantastic on tyre wear in practice. Unless this was a used pair of yeah, it may have been a used pair of crimes as well. They're just putting used cars on the tyres on the car time and time again.
Nazar's just ahead. Push for the position.
Danny Kvyat coming out there. We've taken loads of people in that down that pit straight as they've all pit. We are up into P10, but we're now out of sync with everybody else. So I'm going to have to push these tyres as long as they will go and be as defensive as I possibly can with everybody else, just to try and stay in contention for a single World Championship point in 10th. So I'm getting no traction coming out of these corners now, nothing.
The car behind you is fitting the option tyre. They're fitting the option tyre to the car. Okay, we're starting to see a bit of tyre wear. You shouldn't have too much trouble for the time being, but the grip is going to start falling away.
Tell me about it.
Rosberg's really going for it. He's just put in the best lap of the race so far.
I wanted these to last till 17. We might be able to stretch them till 15. At an absolute push. At a real push, we might be able to stretch them to 15. We're not driving against traffic now, we're driving against tyre wear. There's just 2 seconds to go in front as well, key to keep that in mind. We are able to just about stay with Nazar here, but my rear tyres are orange now. It's only a matter of time before Danny Kvyat is storming past me on one of these straights. He's going to have DRS here as well. No. I'm not bitten. I'm not bitten.
Pit window closes this lap. Kvyat is a second faster than you. He's catching you.
Yes, that's because my tyres are dead. But I need them to do another 2 laps, at least. Stand a chance of even coming close to some championship points. Thanks to Danny Kvyat's teammate. His rear wing's almost glowing purple, isn't it? Or glowing pink down those straights. Too busy looking at his rear wing to look where I'm going at the minute. He's just going to be driving around me soon. We are so slow right now on these tyres.
Rosberg's out in front.
Yep, there he goes. See you, Danny. I could try and hang around the outside. He's gone tight. That worked for us. We were able to just move him across so much so that he was too tight to be able to make the apex, so we had to pull out of it. Nope. Not boxing until lap 15 at least. I'll go lean on the next set, Luke. But to be honest, I can't afford to go lean. We've got too much time to make up. Maldonado's taking Danny Kvyat down that straight. The longer those two battle with each other, the better chance we stand of at least staying in front of them for a little bit longer. We are just losing ground to everybody in front of us now.
Okay, tyre situation bad. Consensus around the garage is they're not looking great, and I don't think you're going to get much more out of them.
You're right, I'm not. I want one more lap. One more lap. Those two are still going at it. Kvyat and Maldonado. You can see how much time it's gaining us down. How much further behind the road. How much further behind us down the road they are. Because they're too busy fighting each other. That could be vital for us. The fact that they're too busy battling each other to catch me. Looked like there was contact there. That might be crucial for us in our hunt for a 10th place points finish. Although, wow, you saw the back end step on me there.
Don't forget, hit in this lap.
No, next lap. Oh, getting really snaky coming out into traction zones now. One more lap, one more. I promise. I promise I'll come in after this one. I promise. We've really run these tyres ragged now. Still fighting each other behind us though, this is gaining us so much time.
Hazard could be due to pit within the next couple of laps.
box this lap. I just told him on the radio. Come on, car, stop for me, thank you. Kvyat is still ahead of Maldonado. Oh, so nervous about these tyres. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Okay, remember to pit this lap.
Oh, I'm not forgetting this lap, mate, don't you worry. I've had enough of these. We're going to have 14 laps to go on a set of brand new primes. Can we do it? I think these were worn when we put them on. Pretty sure these were slightly worn when we put them on. So we'll see if we can make it to the end on this next set of tyres. This is it. This is the final push. 15 laps on one set of tyres, which is effectively the same as doing 30 laps. Effectively the same as doing 30 laps in a 100% race on one set of tyres. We might be able to do it. Might.
Sergio has just stopped the car. He's out of the running.
Oh shit! Our teammate's just retired. I don't know what for.
In first place.
It'd be nice if they told me what it was for. Perez is out of the race, unfortunately, so we were saying during qualifying that it might be, or during practice, and it might be 2 cars in the points weekend here at Bahrain, and it's turning out that it might be a no cars in the points weekend. I can't afford to go in lean, guys. I just can't afford to lose the extra speed. We'll try it for a bit, but God, I'm not sure. I guess we don't really have an option, do we? We need the tyres to last. We definitely won't run out of fuel, Polish racer. Definitely won't run out of fuel. If we're going to lean, that will mean that we'll have extra fuel at the end rather than not enough. We may end up being lapped for the first time in our career in this one as well. Where's everybody else in the pit straight? Not the pit straight, the back straight. I'm going to completely alter my braking pattern for 9 and 10 just to stay as light on the tyres as I possibly can. I've just got to wait for everybody else to pit for the second time. And I hope that we make up enough time in between now and then to actually get ahead of a few people. Thank you. Right, what's the gap to Fernando now? 15.6 seconds.
These tyres to be good for a while yet. Just be careful with them in the high-speed corners. Alonso's lapping slightly quicker than us.
Oh, shut up. because he's in a manor, but I'm running lean revs just to make my tyres last. It's 15.2. We've gained by like 0.3 of a second in that first sector. I wasn't keen on Indianapolis, to be honest. I much prefer the Circuit of the Americas in Texas.
Excess fuel almost down. Set the fuel mix to mode 3. Let's push.
Ericsson must be in the pits.
Is about to pit. The crew are prepping for a stop.
No sign of wear on the tyres yet, which is good. Coming out the pits, we need to beat them. And we're going to. Good. That's 2 places made. I'm not stopping again, lad. I am not stopping again. We've run both compounds. I'm not going to stop again. Chasing Nazar again. Well, that's because Nazar's pit and come out ahead of us. It must be. So we must have to hope that they have to pit again. Rear left is starting to go. The rears are just turning after 4 laps.
Rosberg's the race leader.
Apologies that the race has turned out the way it has, guys. Unfortunately, there wasn't much I could do about it with the antics of certain Australian. Yeah, rear tyres are going now. Tyre wear so much. At Australia we were fine, but here, or oh wow, okay car. Everywhere but Australia, tyre wear's been so much more accelerated that it's really killed me off. We're up into P10 again, so the situation is as it was prior to when we stopped. So effectively, if everybody else is now not going to pit again, we have to make these tyres last till the end of the race. But we may be able to get ourselves a little bit higher if everybody else pits again. If they don't, we may even be risking a puncture by going all the way to the end on these. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to pit again. I don't use face cam for Formula 1, guys. Because when I was on Project Cars, I was constantly in and out of races, so I could constantly address you into the camera. But on F1, obviously, for almost all of the stream, my sole attention is on the track in front of me, so it would be pointless having a face cam and you just watching me stare underneath where the camera is. Plus, this game looks so pretty, you really don't want my face in the way. You want to see everything that's going on in this game.
You need to pit in this lap.
Nope. It's my rear tyres, man. Rear tyres are getting killed.
Last lap from pit window.
See, these primes have lasted 7 laps before they've gone like heavily yellow at the rear. Yet in practice, the primes went 7 laps. I mean, the options went 7 laps, and the primes were fine after like 8. Hadn't barely started to go yellow, but in the race, I mean, obviously, perhaps fuel load has been a contributing factor. I'm just not going to look at them. I'm going to stop looking at them. They wanted me to finish third, Calcimid, because we qualified 6th. Your expectation, your race expectation, is always 3 places above your qualification spot. They always want you to make up 3 places in the race. Obviously, after we got spun out by Danny Ricciardo on like lap 4 or 5, it completely ruined our race strategy. Check what the gap to Danny Kvyat is to see how much we've got in hand. I'm going to try. I forgot to check. It's I always say Jos. It's Max Verstappen. It's the 90s kid in me, remembering Jos Verstappen. Now it's Danny Kvyat. Well, Verstappen and Kvyat are fighting the same way that Maldonado and Kvyat did earlier on in the race. So that again could save us some time and protect us towards the end of the race.
We expect the tyres are getting a bit worn at this point.
You expect correctly.
Gradual loss in grip. They should still have a bit left though.
Looks as if Max has definitely got the better of Danny Kvyat now, though.
Pit in.
No. Or are they still side by side? I can't tell whether there's 3 cars back there or just 2. I think it's just 2. Pedro de la Rosa, that is a name from back in the day as well. Driving in an Arrows, Pedro de la Rosa.
Rosberg's out in front.
Rosberg could do with a race win actually, because some of his results haven't been that impressive. Obviously he finished 10th in Australia and that lost him loads of ground, so a win here will really help his championship title hopes. got 5 laps to go. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen.
Estimating from NASA's tyres, we're expecting him to come into the pits within the next 5 laps.
Well, he's not going to pit before the end then, is he? If he's going to come in in the next 5 laps. So we're going to have to continue to stay as close to him as we can. No, I'm not stopping. I wish there was a way to say, like, I can talk to my engineer. I wish I could say I'm going to stay out.
We're in 10th position. NASA ahead. 5 seconds separate you. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Verstappen is behind you. The gap is 5 seconds. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open.
Well, shut the bloody window, will you?
Pit window closing. The pit window is closing this lap.
Oh, thanks. You responded.
You're dropping a second a lap to Verstappen.
Yeah, I know. But if I'm dropping a second a lap,
We're running an excess on fuel. Mix 3 is there if you need
that
it.
might
Mix
give
3.
me enough to just make it to the end. Although Max is very feisty when it comes to overtaking manoeuvres, so I'm expecting him to really give me a run for my money if he does catch me up. Or when he catches me up. It's a when, not an if now. Really struggling for traction out of those slow corners. Trying my best to be as light on the tyres as I can through those corners, but I'm just not accelerating when we come out of the slow ones. We've still got 4 laps to go. 26, 27, 28, 29. Our best bet now is to hope that we get lapped, so that we have to do 1 less lap. 1 lap less. But I don't think that's going to happen. 3.9.
It's not going to be long before it falls away from us completely. Stay alert.
We will switch back to standard fuel. Just give us an extra little bit of pace. I have to be so careful around corners like that. Max, go away. Go away, Max. Oh, wow. So much oversteer at the minute. These tyres just light up every time I come out of the corner. I'm actually having to turn right whilst turning left. That makes sense.
Rosberg's in first place.
If the tyres lock, I'm not going to jinx it. We're just going to... Oh, stop it, car. The car feels completely different to how it did at the beginning of the race.
3+, gap to the car behind, 3+.
2.9. It's going to catch me on lap 27 or 28. We might be able to make it to lap 28 before he catches us, and then we're going to have a lap or two to try and keep him behind. We want a championship point. We want a championship point.
Around a second each lap. Your lap times are just slightly slower than Verstappen's. He's catching you by 0.5 a lap.
Max, leave me alone. I'm going to keep talking to him, keep telling him to piss off until the end of the race. 2.5 laps to go. Really slow around turn 9 and 10 now.
Green flag, we're racing again.
Okay, something's happened somewhere.
There's a gap of 3 seconds between you and the car behind. See if you can increase the gap.
I'm trying. It's not happening. It's not happening so far though. Two laps to go. Just 2 laps to go. Come on, car. We want that 10th place. We want that 10th place. Oh, it nearly spun on me then. Legit, it nearly went on me. As long as we can stay outside of DRS range, we'll be okay.
Okay, the car should have lightened up plenty by now. We're down to around 25% fuel remaining.
25, that's what racing on lean for half the race has done. We've actually still got 25% of the fuel left in the car. Oh wow. As we head on to the final lap. I'm going to switch to Rich.
You're losing time to NASA, around a second each lap.
Somebody's pit.
Your lap times are just slightly slower than Verstappen's. He's catching you by 0.5 a lap.
It's Maldonado, but he's in 17th, unfortunately. So he must have been the reason for the yellow flag on the other lap.
He's going to attack.
Nico Rosberg has just won the race as well. Maldonado's going to have to let me past. Hopefully it will slow Max up as well if he does. Well, if we can get past, I can't even bloody catch him at this rate. Excuse me, Pastor. Excuse me, Pastor. You know you are getting blue flagged, buddy. Supposed to let me through. You're supposed to. He's supposed to let me through, and he's just not doing it. The AI just don't work properly on this game. They don't respond to, like in practice and qualifying, they won't let you through if you're on a hot lap and they're on an out lap. And Pastor is 17th. He should be getting blue flagged. Max is right behind me. I don't feel guilty at all about using that flashback there. But Pastor should be letting me through, and he's just not. And now Max is right behind me. I've got DRS thanks to being on the back of Pastor. Typical fucking Pastor Maldonado as well. God, Max, go away. I want that 10th place so bad. We are going to get it. Despite the efforts of Daniel Ricciardo to spin us out on lap 5 from 5th position, we are going to get ourselves a championship point. And no thanks as well to Pastor Maldonado, who should have just let me past and didn't. Another one of those glitches that hopefully they will patch out. There we go, a singular point for Sahara Force India. We worked for that. We really, really worked for that. Sergio was one of the only drivers to not finish 3 DNFs. Marcus Ericsson and Carlos Sainz, the other 2 to DNF. But we worked hard for that. We worked very hard for that finish. Wow. 19 points now. Still 1 ahead of Felipe Massa, thankfully. So we do retain 7th place in the Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors, we stay 5th as well. McLaren now only 2 points behind us. And Sauber are up to 7th after they were able to get some points in that race from... after they were able to get some points from Felipe Nasr. But we did want to have a look at lap 4, didn't we? Who was it? Was it Massa again? It was definitely behind us, wasn't it? Where the contact was. This is lap 3. Right on board with Valtteri Bottas. Actually, that might be Massa in the green helmet. It is Massa. I thought Massa had different colour gloves, to be honest. You see me going defensive against Daniel Ricciardo in front. I can't remember whereabouts it was that they made contact. It was at the top of the hill here, wasn't it? Massa's back end steps out. Everybody's gaining on everybody else. Massa goes for the move on Danny Rick, who's up the inside, and just understeers wide into him. That wasn't that big of an incident as it looked from behind us. Massa just understeering wide into Danny Ricciardo. He's just there. He gets a snap. Oh well. We'll take a 10th place. We'll take a 10th place. Okay, the game crashed on me. We finished 10th and the game crashed on me.